It's really simple. We have a really simple law. Of all the laws in North Carolina, this one might be the simplest. You are supposed to pay your workers what you promise, on time and the full amount. That's it.
And how prevalent a problem is this? I mean, I think for people who have never experienced this, who have had, salaried jobs and are upper middle class, this may come as a surprise that this is not as rare as they might think.
It's not, and it cuts across socioeconomic classes, it cuts across industries, but very often workers find themselves at the, payday comes and their boss may or may not look them in the eye and say, gosh, I'm sorry, I can't make payroll this week. And the check never comes. There's no a check given to them, or there's no direct deposit into their bank. And so they wait. A lot of us wait. We sort of like to give our bosses the benefit of the doubt. But for many of these workers, the checks never came. In fiscal year 2004, so just a snapshot of a single year in North Carolina, about 1,500 workers had this happen to them who reached out to the Department of Labor with claims that the Department of Labor validated. So that's a significant number of workers that the Department of Labor had the opportunity to evaluate their claim and try to find some remedy for them.
Well, what's supposed to happen in an ideal world under the law? What and workers have that happen to them? They contact the Department of Labor. How is this supposed to work?
So the law says that the Department of Labor is to enforce, and it even uses some really generous language about, construe this law liberally for the benefit of workers in the workforce of North Carolina. And so when these workers call the Department of Labor, they provide the information, they provide what evidence they might have. Maybe they have their timesheet or some email exchange about their hours. And then the Department of Labor reaches out to the employer and says, Jimmy called us and said you haven't paid him. Is this true? And what are you going to do about it? And often, very often, employers say, you know what, you're right. It's been a tough month. I got behind, and they end up paying Jimmy, and the case is closed very quickly. But there are a great number of other cases that advance to a full investigation. So the Department of Labor has a team of investigators, about 19 investigators across the state, that examine the claim. Is it valid? Is it true? Did this person work the hours? Is he an employee of this company? And in those cases, what we found is that the moment that the employer pushed back, said, I'm not paying, I can't pay, we're broke, we're closed down, the investigator closed the case and told the worker that she was on her own.